Let me speak to the young people who are in this congregation and outside. And I'll tell them two things as I sit down. Number one is patience. Most of us want to arrive, finish campus, get a dream job, buy the best car, build the biggest house, and succeed. I have bad news for you. It will not happen. William Ruto, who is the president today, began his politics in 1992. It took a whole 30 years for him to be president. The process has been hard. He's been even sacked from government. But today he's the president of Kenya. Jesus Christ represented here by the clergy and the church. Tulimuona akizaliwa, tukamuona tena akiwa 12 years, akiongea na wazee kanisani. The next time we saw Jesus Christ, he was 30 years old. Between 12 years and 30 years, he was being prepared, hard, being taken through mentorship. It took him 30 years for him to stand on a podium and deliver his messages for 3 years. Patience is a compulsory process of success. If you think it's going to happen immediately, it will not. So practice patience and you will succeed. Finally, because you are part of my generation, Uhuru Kenyatta and his generation sat down and decided they wanted to produce a president. They did. I'm not sure about their success and whether they achieved when they produced that president. I have mixed feelings. I'll put up in a book with Mheshimiwa Sudi very soon on those issues on whether he succeeded or not. William Ruto and his generation, who include Mheshimiwa Sudi, sat down many years ago and decided they were going to produce a president. Today, they have a president. Our generation as young people, we must sit down and produce a president, because our generation is going to be overtaken by events. And it has to be deliberate. We must plan, we must be patient, and we must work to produce now, so that at the time when we are doing that, we are exhibiting exactly what we have done. With that, I thank you very much. Kongoi.
Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity. As you can see, we've been invited here by the Minister for Trade, Honorable Moses Kuria, and we've come together to celebrate and to thank God for his appointment. It was a Thanksgiving, but also as leaders from Mount Kenya, we are also taking stock of where we are at, where we have come from. Many of us are in government. We are also meeting many of them for the first time, and there are those who we know. So it's also an opportunity to get to know one another, and to also just discuss how we can support our region in terms of development, and ensure that the grievances that we had with the previous regime don't happen in this regime of William Samoei Ruto. We support him, we stood with him, we are standing with him even now, and we want to make sure that we maximize on the opportunities that His Excellency the President has given us. That is one. The second issue on the political side also, we have noted the aggression from the opponents, the opposition, against our government. This government, we sweated very hard for it. We sacrificed a lot, and therefore it is also one of those issues we are agreeing that we are going to fully and completely back His Excellency the President to ensure that no one is a threat to his government. The opposition will not threaten us, and also the issue of Maandamano, we will be completely in support to ensure we push back and give him the space to deliver to the people of Kenya.
In that spirit of giving the President space to deliver, there may be concerns that some leaders are not present in this meeting, possibly because of it's quiet or not.
There is no such thing. You know, this meeting was called this week, and many people, some people are out of the country. This is not a meeting for Mount Kenya. This was a Thanksgiving. These other issues are just coming as a by the way. So as you can see, even the Deputy President is very busy today because there are many national duties. The President has left the country, and he's the one who's responsible and in charge So this was not meant to be a political meeting, but you know, inevitably, because we have come together as politicians, we cannot not discuss development and politics. So those who are not here are represented. Every county is represented, and there are many others who will still be coming even later, and those who have not come have sent their apologies.
Well, I don't really have much to add because a lot of it has been spoken to by my colleague, Chair of the Council of Governors. But I just need to say that just because fate has brought us together, Moses at his party and Thanksgiving, and many of us are present. I would say at least almost over 80%. A few were absent. They sent their apologies because there was such short notice, but it gave us an opportunity to take stock of our issues that were the major issues that we used to rally the people of Mount Kenya region in support of President William Ruto. And so we've taken stock of those issues and asked ourselves, how are we doing in terms of the implementation of the same, and what do we need to do to push for that implementation to happen as we have promised the people. And that's basically it that we've done today. We talked about issues to do with tea, coffee, dairy, dengue, mera. I mean, we talked about rice, everything you can think about that affects our people. We've discussed that, small and medium business enterprises. And so those are the issues we've discussed today, and we are hopeful that going forward we'll be able to have a lot of these things happen as the President promised, because there's already a lot of things happening and goodwill. But then again, we've talked about Maandamano tomorrow and what it is actually doing in, ensuring that we don't get where we want to go as a nation. And we totally need that disagreement with what the opposition is doing, and we're asking them to follow due process. Maandamano cannot be peaceful from your end, from experience. We saw what happened last Monday, and we are hopeful that tomorrow, now that they have been told they shouldn't do it, that they will not do it, because we don't want problems in the country. Thank you.
Yeah, like you have heard from my colleagues, we are really just here to celebrate and give thanks for the appointment of Moses Kuria as the Cabinet Secretary for Trade. He's one of those people who has worked with us this journey for the last few years. So for us, really, it also shows the kind of president that we have, who realizes the kind of brains that he has and what he can bring to the table, and makes sure that they are put where they are supposed to be. So one, that is why we are here to celebrate that. I've also heard you say that perhaps there are some who are not here who should have been here, but however, it's actually amazing the numbers that we have here today, because this was put together just a few days ago, and you can see everybody here, from governors to senators, MPs, PSs, CSs, CASs, and everybody. So it's really great. Our Deputy President was supposed to be here today too, but you are also aware that the President is away, so he's busy taking care of the nation. However, as responsible leaders, we also cannot just meet and just vote and not talk about what issues that we need to handle or take care of as leaders for our people, the people of Kenya, that is. And that is some of the stuff we are taking today, knowing what we need to do. We also went around this country campaigning, so we know what we promised the people, and we are trying to make sure that which we promised and made them put us in office, we are delivering that. And finally, on tomorrow's supposed Maandamano, as leaders, we are not impressed. Myself, as a real true Democrat, I believe that when we go to elections, those who win form the government, and those who lose, you go home, you go reassess yourself, and you hope for better luck next time, and mobilize your people so that you can legitimately win 5 years later. So for me, I am one person who feels very strongly that there is no room to bring this kind of disorganization into the country just because a person did not win. I'm also a believer that we should never reward bad political manners. So if somebody keeps having demonstrations, we are not going to sit and say, oh, we need to talk to him so we can stop. No, he needs to stop Maandamano. He needs to be able to convince people to vote for him. Our country's economy is not doing very well, and this came from the handshake until now. So he needs to give the president the space to do his work. And so we are against it, and I hope tomorrow him and his people will not be out on the streets, because they should be dealt with civilians. Thank you.
Yeah.